All right, so last lesson we talked about solving systems using graphing. Okay, today we're going to talk about solving systems using substitution. Okay, so this is going to use your algebra skills, so your solving skills, instead of your graphing skills. Okay, so substitution just means like replacing something. Okay, so kind of like when you have a substitute teacher, it's just a replacement teacher for a short period of time. So what you first want to do is you want to make sure one of your equations is solved for a variable. Doesn't matter if it's solved for x or for y. Okay, so that is the first thing you look for. So like this first equation says y equals. So that one is solved for y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 2x minus 3 and I'm going to substitute it in for the y in the other equation. So I'm going to have x plus 3 times 2x minus 3 equals 5. So now if you look at this, okay, I've come up with an equation that just has x's in it. So now you can solve it using your algebra skills because you can solve one variable equations. So distribute, so we get x plus 6x minus 9 equals 5. X plus 6x is 7x. Okay, so then we solve it. Plus 9 to both sides. Get 7x equals 14. Divide by 7. X is 2. So remember what I told you from the graphing one, that our answers will always be a point. Okay, so I've got the x value of my point. Now I need to find the y value. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this 2 and go back up into our y equals 2x minus 3 equation, plug it in and solve for y. So we're going to have y equals 2 times 2 minus 3. So y equals 4 minus 3 is 1. So then my answer is the point 2, 1. Okay. Looking at another equation. Okay, so this time, the first equation is solved for x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 4y, plug it in for my x in the other equation. So I'm going to have 4 times 4y minus y equals 75. Okay, so again, now I only have y's in my equation. So now I can solve it. So 4 times 4y is 16y. Minus y is 75. So 16y minus 1y is 15y equals 75. Divide by 15. Y equals 5. That one you probably have to do in your calculator. Okay, so then that's going to be the y value of my point. I still need to find the x value. So I'm going to use that x equals 4y. So x equals 4 times 5. X is 20. Okay, so there's my point for that system of equations. All right, so then for this one, okay, one of the equations isn't solved. So what you have to look for is there a variable that has no number in front of it, is just the variable by itself? Okay. Well, the y is by itself in that equation. So I'm going to take this 4x plus y equals 12, and I'm going to solve it for y. So I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. So y equals negative 4x plus 12. Now I can take that and plug it into the y of my other equation. So I have negative 2x minus 3 times negative 4x plus 12 equals 14. Okay, so now we got to do some distributing. We're distributing with a negative, so we have to be careful. So you have negative 2x. Negative 3 times negative 4 is a positive 12x. Negative 3 times a positive 12 is a negative 36. Okay, always be careful when you're distributing that negative through. So negative 2x plus 12x is 10x. Then we add the 36 over. Get 10x equals 50. Divide by 10. X is 5. Then I'm going to take that x equals 5 and I'm going to go back up to my equation where I solved for y and plug it in. So we're going to have negative 4 times 5 plus 12. So negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. Plus 12 is negative 8. So my point, that would be the solution to the system, is 5, negative 8.